Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do a review of Minecraft Builders and Biomes. Now this is a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 to 99. And it takes about 30 to 60 minutes, and that is accurate.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've had a chance to check out our how to play and playthrough. So let's give a quick little overview of what you're doing.
Okay.
Now this is where we left the game off. I modified it a little bit because I set the blocks up again. But you're going to have your characters here, start in the center, and you go around on this grid pattern here, exploring and turning up tiles or weapons, like here. So if I were to move right here, I would turn up all 4 of these, and then I can get blocks to build things or to fight the mob using weapons. So how do you get blocks? They're in here. You create this at the beginning of the game, and I mean, we wouldn't have all these blocks at this stage in the game, but it's 4 high, 4 wide, and one of the actions you can do is take 2 blocks, and you'll see you'll be turning them in to you'll be getting blocks and then turning them in to build it. So this would take an obsidian, a sand, and a wood. And what you're trying to do is get the most points. It is a competitive game. There are 3 scoring rounds. On scoring round A, you're scoring biomes, such as forests, deserts, mountains, and snowy tundra. Now, they're worth different points. So at this point in the game, if I were to score just my forest, I would have 3, 6, 9, 12 points, and I would keep track around here. Now, I could score snowy tundra and get 6 points, but why would I do that? I want to score the biome that has the most points. And you can only score one region that's connected adjacently. You can't score things that are diagonal. So for instance, if I had this right here, you don't have to match the biomes underneath your starting board. So I couldn't score that because it's diagonal. So that's the first scoring round. Now, how do scoring rounds end? Well, you have to get all the blocks off the first layer here, like this. And players will be grabbing them as the game progresses. Now, you can go down to the lower levels, but you only score when the whole top layer is removed. So that would be the scoring round A. Now, scoring round B is when the second layer is removed. And what are you scoring there? Well, you're doing materials, buildings made out of different materials, such as wood, sand, stone, and obsidian. So biomes don't necessarily matter now. Now you're looking for which buildings are next to each other. So I had it like this at a certain time. Notice I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone buildings. That would have been 25 points for that. Now I'm going to go for the one with the most points. I could have done obsidian here for 6 points, but I'd rather have 25 over 6.
Well, sure.
The third round is going to be structures, the type of structure that is, and that's when the third layer of blocks, so we have to get all the way down, like right to here, to the last layer. So there'll be a layer on the bottom. There's actually 4 layers, but once you remove the third layer of all the blocks, you'll score structures, which are decorations. That's what the picture means. Dwellings, animal houses, and bridges. So I scored, which one did I do here?
I don't remember what you did.
Oh, I did dwellings.
Dwellings.
So I can only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 dwellings here.
Yeah, you did well with that.
Yeah. Now I could do the 2 pictures, right? That would be 6 points. But you can only do 1 type. So I did this one. So that was 5 times 4, 20 points. Now what do you do with mobs? Well, these mobs that I was able to defeat, you got to overcome their hearts, which I'll show you how that happens. They score additional points on the last round after you score everything in C here. So I scored 3 points for every mountain I had. So I only had 1 mountain. And it could even be a starting mountain that you have on your board. So I only got 3 points for that. This guy gave me 2 points for every desert, and they don't have to be connected, so that was 6 points for these 3. And I got 3 points for every bridge. I only had 1 bridge at the end. Now some also, when you get mobs, they'll give you points when you defeat them. And some mobs will give you an extra turn. If you hold on to it, then you can turn it in and get an extra turn.
That's what you did.
Yes, I did do that. Now, how does combat work? How do you defeat a mob? Well, you normally start out with just your 3 poison potatoes, which don't help you, a sword does 2 damage, and I think that's a steel sword, and that's a wood sword. So what you do is, if I wanted to defeat this guy, you do an action where you shuffle up your cards or your tiles, right? And I would draw 3. Okay, it doesn't help me. Doesn't help me. That I almost defeated him. So I just basically lost my turn. So nothing negative happens to you in the game. It's basically you're racing to get the most points before the game ends. So I could try to defeat this guy on my second action. So you get 2 actions every turn. You either collect 2 blocks. I can do that twice if I want to and get 4 blocks. Move 0, 1 or 2 spaces. Now, why would you move 0? Because on the board, you could be in a spot where, let's say Julie defeated this guy and these weren't revealed. I could just stay there and reveal those. The other action is building structures, which is where you turn in your blocks to build them like I showed you. You can fight the mob, which means you draw your tiles, and you can collect weapons. So notice I added these weapons in. This is a nice one because I can take a block every time I draw it. This gives you 2 victory points every time I draw it, and it does 2 damage. So I actually had those. And there's different weapons in the game.
Hey, by the way, it says on your turn actions, you take 2 different actions, so you couldn't beat him up twice.
Oh, 2 different actions. So we did that wrong.
We did when we played it. Because I know there's a couple times I took
Yeah.
4 blocks at a time, but I just noticed as you were going through that,
Yeah.
I was reading along and it says take 2 different actions.
Well, so that shows you right there, as I'm explaining the game and the how to play and playthrough, I'm going to have to add a note that usually we were doing different actions,
Yeah.
but I know, though, we did this part right.
Which one, honey?
When you take an additional action, it can be the same action. It does say that in the
Right.
rules. So that's probably what confused me.
I bet you that's what did.
But it says it very clear and simple
Yeah,
here.
it even has it kind of bolded, it looks like,
It
too.
does, it
so
does.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad you said that because at least in this review here, I taught that correctly. and for most of the game, we did do two different actions. There might have been a couple of times that we did where we might have built 2 buildings.
No, I know.
Or did 4 blocks.
Yeah, I did build 2 buildings at one time, and I know I took 4 blocks
Okay.
once. So
Well, hey, now you know. It's got to be 2 different actions, but the rule book, and this is where I got confused, the rule book does say that when you use a mob that you defeated, that you can do you can do a same action again.
gotcha.
Okay.
So I guess
So-
probably what confused you, honey.
You play until all 3 scoring rounds are done. When scoring round C is done, which is this right here, you see who has the most points. All right, so let's take a look how we reviewed it.
Okay, I get to go first.
So, let's
So
see.
I'm waiting for David to get the slide.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is a very good family game, and especially if you or your children are into this game. I've never played it. I've seen clips of it on YouTube, but I don't quite understand it on YouTube. So this was a learning curve for me, but you know, it was okay. It is a fun card drafting and building type of game, and I guess that's part of what the game is. So
What you mean by you're drafting the tiles, your weapons and building tiles?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sorry. And the only thing I did notice is there is very little player interaction. I mean, you can, if you're really paying attention to what the other person is going for, you might be able to try and block them or take away something from them. But for the most part, for me personally, I was so busy concentrating on my own player board and what I needed, I really never paid attention to what David needed or was going for. So that's, in
'Cause
my
you're-
eyes, it's not much player interaction. David might say something different, but for me, I was just concentrating on where my little person was, what I wanted to take, what I wanted to go for, how it fit on my board, and that was it.
Well, the player interaction is, you're right, you can deny somebody. So there was a tile that Julie wanted to get, a mob here. And the first part of the game, she wanted this tile here that gives a lot of bonus points for deserts.
Yeah.
And knowing that she had a lot of deserts, I got that mob before her
He did.
to deny her that. The other part of the player interaction is when you watch the playthrough, I ended the game early on purpose to lower her score.
Yeah, and you'll see that I probably looked really ticked off. And I really wasn't ticked off. I was just so tired
Yeah.
because with him teaching the game and then us playing the game, it took a really long time. And about 40 minutes in, I was just like, I just want to be done. So I don't look mad. I just am very tired. And I am happy he won. He played it very aggressively, which
Yes.
I don't play. But it was good because then you guys could see how to play that way. So
Well, that's where the player interaction can come into play, where a player can be very aggressive at denying another player. And so that's the kind of player interaction that it is that you deny. If any player interaction that occurs, it's when you deny somebody something. So a more experienced player could think more ahead, can do more. For instance, on the board here, you got to think of, okay, I'm going for biomes now, but when I lay the biomes down, I want to think of what do I need for squaring around B, and then I got to think about what I might need for squaring around C. So a more older, experienced player is going to be able to do that compared to a younger player. And an experienced player will probably, if they want to be aggressive like I was being with Julie, deny the other player opportunities.
And personally for me, I had to just concentrate on each scoring tile we were working on at each time and just concentrate only on that because I couldn't really plan much ahead. I did pretty well for myself, considering, but it took a lot of brain power for me, so that's why I was so tired at the
Well,
end.
again, an experienced player that can think ahead is going to do better.
Oh, he's absolutely
So
right.
let's take a look. Now you can see why I denied Julie
Oh, yeah, and all
the
that.
desert. This is why I took this from her, because she would have scored 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 extra points at the end of the game because she had that many deserts. So again, that's what can happen with the player interaction. Somebody takes something that they don't really need
Right,
to deny the other player.
right. What did you say, sweetie?
All right, let's take a look. So,
I'm curious what you had to say.
all right, so it's a solid set collection. You said drafting. It's more of I think, a set collection game.
I guess I was thinking, we get to pull the brick
Yeah, you're-
blocks off. So isn't that kind of
You're right.
drafting
You're
it?
right in the sense that you are drafting blocks to
Yeah.
build things. I mean, yes, there is kind of a drafting thing, but usually when people think it's drafting, is you're passing around a deck of cards, or you're drawing randomly from a bag.
Oh, well, I guess I
Okay.
just kind of
That's okay.
Spoke.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's more of a set collection game.
Oh, okay.
But that's all right. That's what it reminds you of.
Yep.
So it's a race to score the most points family game. Now I do emphasize family, but again, caution, a more experienced player could be too aggressive.
Yep.
Interesting decisions. I was using a lot of brain power to think ahead for what I needed for each scoring round.
And I was just using it for each scoring round itself.
And then, I'm also thinking about what mobs I want to get. And it was fun adding weapons.
Oh, yeah, you had a ton of weapons.
Yeah,
You were going
I added
crazy
more
with them.
in.
Yep.
And because I was going after mobs more. I defeated,
You defeated a lot of them.
I think 5.
I did one.
Yeah. I defeated 5 of them. So I was playing both strategies. Julie wasn't really going that way. But that's part of the interesting decision. What are you going to build? Or are you going to go for a combination of mob and buildings? That's what I did. Julie mostly focused on buildings.
Yes.
So we both agree that it's very little player interaction, but again, it's a deny. When there is interaction, it's denying, and it's the race element. You're trying to, you can burn through the blocks faster on purpose to cause scoring sooner. So if I know Julie's trying to get something, I can just say, oh, I'm going to take the last 2 blocks on that level.
And that's what he did in the game.
Yeah, I did do that. You did it once to me too. So
Oh, did I?
You did.
Oh.
That's okay though. So a negative though, and I'm a neutral on that. I'm okay with that. It's just that you're going to have children with a certain amount of fortitude to handle
Yes.
an adult who may play seriously. So when we raised our children, I didn't let them win. Now I don't recommend doing. I recommend doing that. Do not let children win. So for our boys, now you might have done that.
I kind of did it.
You kind of did that. What I would
Well,
do.
they're my babies. I don't want to make them
I
upset.
know, but that's how you teach perseverance and fortitude.
I know,
and that's
I
how you
know.
teach good sportsmanship.
I know.
Now you can assist a younger player by giving them maybe an additional action, or there's ways to give them an advantage
Sure.
because they are younger, but then you still play to win. Now,
Right.
not everybody agrees with that strategy. I believe psychology. Now, I'd have to see what papers there are on that. I bet you there's papers that say one way or the other. Okay, I know that there's definitely research that says you don't want to do that.
You don't want to.
But
Okay.
I bet you there's a paper by now that at least says that maybe you do.
But I mean, come on, a 3 or 4-year-old, you don't want to destroy them.
No, that's why you play games like Candyland where it's all luck.
Yeah.
So that's why luck games, children like luck games because
yeah.
they're able to win, and that overcomes an experienced adult. This is why playing chess with a young person, they're going to lose all the time, and that's what's frustrating because it's pure strategy.
I would lose.
So playing luck games, that's why children like it because they can come from
That
behind
makes
and win.
sense. Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
Okay.
back to
What
what
you
I
were
was saying.
saying.
So the cardboard is too thin. That's
Oh.
and the game would have cost more if they. I mean, right here, it's not very thick.
Oh, I never even really paid attention.
A lot of games will have cardboard that thick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, or at least two.
But you said that would be more expensive to do.
It would be more expensive. And if you look here at the player boards, I mean, it's just basically you have printers.
Oh, yeah. It's
Printers
super
can handle
thin.
that thickness.
Yeah.
Home printers.
That's a good point.
The blocks are nice.
Yeah, I like the blocks.
But like I said, the cards and these are kind of disappointing.
Well, these things are kind of fat. No, I guess
No,
not.
they're not. They're the same
No.
thickness.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that they want to keep down the cost of the game, but for me, it's kind of a negative. At least they're not warping,
No.
so that's a good thing. Now, will it hold Minecraft fans' attention over time? I don't know. This is we don't play Minecraft. We've seen our children play it, but they went on to other games. They weren't big Minecraft
No,
players.
not at all.
I appreciate what Minecraft provides in terms of it being a sandbox, and that it can allow almost unlimited possibilities of what you can build and craft and things like that. It's great for children to develop creativity.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if this game would hold a Minecraft player's attention that's really into Minecraft. So you know how it plays, you know what we're talking about. You would have to be the judge of that if you're going to get it for your child to play with them who's a big Minecraft fan.
Yeah.
Now, I've read reviews of other people that said their children love it.
Oh, good.
Okay, so our boys now are 22 and 24, so we don't have anything to gauge that with. Now, our grandchildren someday might be able, but that's years away from now, so we don't know.
Many years.
All right, so let's take a look at how we rated it.
Okie dokie.
So, with that being said, we're not the primary audience of this. We're not Minecraft players, and we don't have young children right now.
Nope.
Okay, so let's take a look at how we rated it.
Okay.
All right, so I'll play it in the mood because it is a solid set collection game.
And I said mediocre. I'll take it or leave it. And personally, I probably won't want to ever play this again until we do have grandchildren. It's just not something I'm going to be like, hey, Dave, let's play this game. It's just, I don't know.
Well, there's other set collection games you'd rather
Yeah.
play. You'd rather play Splendor,
Definitely.
okay? Or you'd rather play The Haunted Mansion, two games we reviewed recently.
Yep.
This one, I don't mind that we own it,
No,
but it's not going to be like, it's going to be a very rare occasion when we play it again.
definitely.
Unless, again, we do have some young people. You've seen in some of my math skill videos,
Their mom.
Jackie, we should probably play it with them to see how they like it.
Oh, they might like it because they're in 3rd and 5th grade, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And I
Yeah.
think the 5th grader has played Minecraft.
I think he has.
So it would be interesting to get
Yeah.
his point of view on it. So again, we're not the audience because of what games we don't play Minecraft and we don't have young children.
No.
But we do recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, if you or your little people in the house are huge Minecraft fans, you might want to try it out with them.
Right, you're going to know based on what I went over here with the game if you think this will appeal to them, or considering that all the stuff you can do in Minecraft, will this not be good enough?
True. I mean, I'm assuming you can do just a ton of stuff.
Oh, you can do
in
a lot more
Minecraft.
in Minecraft. This
And
is
I'm guessing that like the pictures that are here are also in the game. I mean,
yeah, it is
I don't
based on
know.
it. It is based on it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I have that question mark. Would it hold a Minecraft player's attention? I don't know.
I don't know.
But if you're looking for a set collection game, this is solid. But there's between us two, there's other set collection games we'd rather
Right.
play.
And what's the age on the 10? I think like a 9 or
I think an 8-year-old could handle it.
8-year-old could
I would.
handle it.
I could play this with definitely gifted and talented children in second grade could handle
Oh,
it.
I
No
would
problem.
think so. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Or just a very bright child
Mm-hmm.
that's in primary could definitely handle it.
Sure.
All right. So, anyways, that's our review of Minecraft Builders in Biomes.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Please check out our how to play and playthrough.
Yes.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.